And that is what this campaign is fighting. Not simply any other candidate that will be on the ballot, but the notion that New York City is for sale. We know that this city will decide its own future, and we know that it is New Yorkers that we will turn to make that decision in November, not the White House in Washington, D.C.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about the gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk a doubter, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Welcome to the MC Too Tall Show. I'm your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC Too Tall. Now, did you hear the latest? The latest is the New York Times is putting out another one of their hit pieces, another destined to be a classic psyop that will be debunked eventually. They're claiming that Donald Trump is interfering with the New York mayoral election. No way, no how is he interfering with the mayoral election. They're trying to say he offered jobs to Cuomo and Adams. And, no, that he offered jobs to Cuomo and Sliwa. And Sliwa himself said months ago that Donald Trump never offered him a job. That was some weird accusation made by Eric Adams to try to knock Sliwa out of the race because Sliwa was way ahead of him in the polls. And as far as offering a job to Cuomo, Donald Trump didn't offer any job to Andrew Cuomo either. Andrew Cuomo called up Donald Trump asking for campaign advice. And Donald Trump simply had a conversation with him, gave him no campaign advice. Why would Donald Trump want to advise somebody who's been a political nemesis to him any advice on anything? So he had a conversation with him, wished him luck, blah, 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 and then moved on. And they're trying to flip this into some sort of political interference kind of thing, because the New York Times is not factual. They don't tell the real news. And it's pretty sickening and sick in the head that they would do that. And on top of that, Zoran Mamdani is challenging to a debate not Andrew Cuomo again, not Eric Adams, not even Curtis Sliwa, who is his most formidable opponent for this mayoral race, but the sitting president, Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not running for mayor. He's already president. Doesn't need to run for mayor. But, here's what's happening. Zoran Mamdani, as some political stunt, is challenging Donald Trump to a debate. And of course, Donald Trump's not entertaining it. Shouldn't have to. And people are going to be like, well, you see, that honky That honky is scared to debate an intelligent brown person, or something weird like that. The brown people are more capable of the things the white people are known for. And it has nothing even to do with that. It has to do with this sicko who spoke out against public safety is running against somebody who dedicated his life to public safety long before Zoran Mamdani was even born. But rather than face an opponent that's sure to wipe the floor with him in a debate, he wants to claim that he's going for Donald Trump. He doesn't want to face his own opponents in his own mayoral campaign. He wants to debate the President of the United States while running for mayor. Because they figure this will be a win-win for him. Either Donald Trump won't entertain it, like he's not doing, he's not entertaining it, or if he takes the bait, it'll put him on a national stage and he can reemerge as a presidential candidate, win or lose, in this mayoral race. And it's sick, it's disingenuous. Last week, he's over there trying to bench press, making a very feeble attempt at bench pressing. Now I know by looking at that video, this man is physically weaker than I am. And I don't profess to be a strong man. You know, I'm capable of winning fights when things get brutal and physical. I'm capable of winning fights because I don't fight for machismo. I fight for survival. Survival instincts kicked in. And I go for vital areas when I fight. There's no such thing to me as a clean street fight. I think of it as the person is trying to kill me, and I get out of that situation as best as I can and get the upper hand and make sure the person is put down and not capable of getting up for a while, or goes limping home, never to return. That's usually the results of fights I get into. That's why I don't like fighting. That's why I don't get into fights often. That's why you don't hear of me fighting often, because the result never ends with me on the losing end. The opponent is always worse off than I am. But though I'm capable of defending myself in a fight, I never profess to be physically strong. However, by looking at this video of him attempting to lift weights, and I know what I'm capable of bench pressing, I'm physically stronger than Zoran Mamdani. Good to know. But aside from that, that was a publicity stunt. This calling out Donald Trump for a debate is a publicity stunt and a distraction from his failure to put out a decent proposed policy that would improve this city. And as I mentioned in one of my last videos, Bill de Blasio and Al Sharpton are endorsing Zoran Mamdani. That gives you more reason not to vote for Zoran Mamdani. We're talking about people who perpetuate the madness, who made the city what it is. Garbage. The city is garbage because of Bill de Blasio, and people who perpetuate the madness like Al Sharpton, and they're endorsing Zoran Mamdani. So what does that tell you of the type of mayor Zoran Mamdani would be, hypothetically, if he were to win this mayoral election? The guy's trash. The guy's trash. As of right now, he's not Mayor Mamdani. He is Assemblyman Mamdani. And he won't be for long. And by the time all is said and done, he might well not be Assemblyman Mamdani for much longer. And as I mentioned, Curtis Sliwa has put more work into public safety than Zoran Mamdani has even been alive. So he's over here banking on some sort of clout in debating Donald Trump. Because win or lose in a debate against Donald Trump, he'll gain national attention. This way, win or lose in this mayoral race, he could then reemerge and run for president in 2028 and be part of that faltering Democrat bench, along with fat guy LMAO JB Pritzker, greasy VO5 ODing Gavin Newsom, failed border czar Kamala Harris, and the cuddly coach Tim Walz. These are the people they're putting up. Not Josh Shapiro, not Andy Bashir, not John Fetterman, not the people who could actually be convincing as centrist, even though everything left of center is radical to me. But they're not even putting forth the effort to put out people that put out the image that they're centrist. They're going right for the radicals. And this party is more and more being taken over by the radicals. And we don't want these radicals running our cities, states, or country anymore. It's done. It's exhausted. People, I hear the word fatigue a lot. And some people say black fatigue, some people say have trans fatigue, this fatigue, that fatigue. How about overall liberal fatigue? The general consensus of America is that America does not want that anymore. I've actually come full circle and lived long enough to see the day where my worldviews are general consensus again. And we're going to put forth the effort. Me and the people that I influence, people like me and the people they influence, are going to put forth the conscious effort to make this joint normal again and keep it normal. No more radicals. We don't need that around here. It's not welcome in these here parts anymore. And I will, for as long as I live in New York, vote either Republican or conservative. I'm not even going to entertain the libertarian movement anymore. I mentioned I did vote for the libertarian candidate for president in 2012. I'm not even doing that anymore. And certainly not in local elections. I will never vote Democrat in a local election ever again. You see where my Spitzer vote got us? The Trump goes and spends tens of thousands of dollars on some chick that's barely worth a White Castle date. I mean, yeah, just kind of okay looking, smashable, but you know, you throw a freaking a sack of White Castle, and you tell her to eat it later, so it's not on a breath while you're hitting it. Then you hit it and quit it. But no, he wants to spend tens of thousands of dollars, and it cost him the governorship of New York, which led us to Patterson, which led us to Cuomo, which led us to Huckster Hochul. You could blame Spitzer. You could go all the way back to Spitzer. Why we have Huckster Hochul. And she's got a campaign of her own to worry about next year. And I believe wholeheartedly in what Curtis Sliwa said. Just like the 1-2 punch of Giuliani and Pataki, there's going to be a 1-2 punch here of Sliwa and Elise Stefanik. I wholeheartedly believe in that. Everybody's scared of Zoran Mamdani. At least the ones who don't want Zoran Mamdani to be mayor, they're all scared of Zoran Mamdani. And they're going to either Adams or Cuomo because they're the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. Why choose among devils when you could pick a guardian angel, Curtis Sliwa, and not have to deal with same old, and be thankful that things didn't get worse? We shouldn't be voting for damaged goods for damage control, if you know what I mean. Eric Adams already has a record as a mayor, and it's damaged. Andrew Cuomo already has a record as governor, and it's damaged. So, why vote for the damaged goods and for damage control? Because, yeah, I agree, Mamdani would be worse than any of these two guys, but if the option for a better guy than all three of them is there, go for that guy. Vote him in. It's a waste of vote. Not if everybody votes for him. Stupid. Don't be stupid about these things. Don't be gross. Don't look like something that's not even passable for human. Don't be repulsive looking. Don't walk around town with gross teeth, having the gall to think you could ever get laid ever again in your life. Don't be one of those people. And just vote Republican like a normal person. Normal people that want normal things are voting Republican. If you're voting Democrat, you're for the sick shit. You're for the blue-haired men in bikini tops becoming kindergarten teachers to tell their male students they're supposed to be girls. And it's sickening. And if you're voting Democrat, it means you want to get involved. You want to get knee-deep, torso-deep involved in the Israeli-Gaza conflict. And then pick the side that hates America. And one could argue both do, but the ones that hate America are actively working against America more. And guess what? It's not the ones who attend synagogue. I promise you that. It's usually the ones that attend Masonic lodges, satanic temples, and will occasionally show their face in a mosque to show how religious they are. I could assure you of that. And I could pull notes and documents to prove it, but let's not go down that route right now. Let's concentrate on getting the right man in office, Curtis Sliwa. Respect God, watch out for the Illuminati. Follow, share, comment, like, stay strong, keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, hardcore, fierce, and sexy underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall. You be safe out there.